All right, let's go.
Stop! I'm about to cry again.
Are we ready?
No, wait.
I'm sorry.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Loyal and Wow. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Loyal and Assertive podcast. My name is Jay.
And I'm Megan.
And they are
Raya
And Brandon.
And with y'all with who?
More love.
R&B.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
So make sure you check them out. But today we're actually going to hop right in. Raya has something that she wants to have a conversation about.
I do. Okay, so I have a question. Let me pull it up. This is a conversation I had with Brandon the other day, and I was like, why don't we share? So this is a scenario.
Okay.
All right. So let's say a husband does something that unknowingly offends his wife, but she brushes it off as if it's not a big deal. You know, it's not a big deal, whatever. But every so often, the thought keeps creeping back into her head. Like, it just, you know what I'm saying? So what does she do? Does she, and this is like months after, right? Mm-hmm. Does she initiate a conversation like, hey, you did such and such, and it offended me. I'm sorry I didn't bring it up. Or does she try to brush it off herself? Like, this has been 3-4 months, whatever the case may be. She tried to brush it off. It wasn't a big deal, but it did offend her. Should she bring it up because it's still something she thinks about? Or should she just try to find a way to let it go?
So I'm going to say bring it up.
Me too.
I think how she brings it up matters. But I would say bring it up because I think that sometimes, I mean, let's just be honest, in any relationship, but I think more specifically in a spouse relationship, there are things that your partner does to offend you that just often goes not talked about.
Yeah.
And I think that the things that you don't talk about can end up building resentment and bitterness.
Absolutely.
Even the smallest
It's those things that cause divorce, in my opinion.
Yeah. And so I would say, yes, you bring it up. Now, what that conversation is going to look like.
That's the thing.
Because now you've been holding this thing for a couple months, so what we doing?
No, but I think you bring it up not in the heat of discussion.
Okay.
Or an argument. Like, you actually set aside intentional time to bring it up, and you acknowledge the time length. Hey, I know that it's been a while. This has been weighing on me, but I do want to bring it up because it keeps surfacing.
Yeah, I agree. So for me, I feel like a person first needs to like reflect. Why is this thing that we decided to brush off ourselves because at the time we thought, you know what, it offended me, but it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I'm gonna brush it off. So really, like, do the self-reflection first to figure out why is it bothering you, and if you can resolve it within yourself, then fine. But if you can't, then, like you said, talk to your spouse and say, hey, you did this 3 months ago, whatever. I tried to brush it off. I did the self-reflection, and I know why it's bothering me. Because I feel like something that wasn't a big deal but still stings or whatever is probably rooted in something else.
Yeah, I think you also need to have patience with the other person. If you're bringing this up 3 months later, you got to have patience that person's like, are you kidding me? Like, are we really still, like...
Especially if it wasn't a big deal.
Right. If it's not as much of a big deal, why are we talking about it right now? But
yeah.
I think it's a two-way street. On one hand, you got to have patience that I realized that I didn't bring this up 3 months ago because I just kind of brushed it off. But at the same time, you also have to understand that if you are on the receiving end, you have to kind of go, okay, well, this is not a person that is trying to hide things from me or trying to, he or she actually did.
I didn't think about the element of that.
He or she actually did try to do the work of forgetting about it, but they couldn't. So as much as I might feel like, yo, this is out of nowhere and we have been past this, I should probably have a little grace and kind of go, okay, well, because if it was me, I would want the patience too to like, hey, I'm not over it. I need to talk about it, so.
Yeah, I think... I think what you said is probably the bigger element is that I think I want to broaden this. I want to. What you said?
Not what I said.
Wait.
He said, and
no, what she said was.
I was like, oh. Okay.
Oh,
sorry,
welcome the smaller element.
Wow. Did I say bigger element?
You did.
That's hilarious.
Rewind.
Rewind the tape. But I do think that in I want to broaden this a little bit because it could be people listening that's not couples.
Exactly.
Yep.
They could be parents. They could be friends. They could be siblings. They
Coworkers.
could be coworkers. Yes.
Absolutely.
So I do think that all of us. I actually been thinking a lot about this lately.
Okay.
I think that all of us have little things that people do that irritate us that we don't talk about. Mm-hmm. And I think that oftentimes, to your point when you said like maybe you need to dig a little bit deeper and figure out what that thing is that is like triggering you, because it can be something so simple as like Megan is a fidgeter. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be. Can you just stop, yo? Like, it's getting on my nerves.
Just sit still.
I just want you to stop.
How dare you, Megan?
Not that I was just fidgeting down below the table.
Wow, not down below.
On the phone.
Okay, well, that's right. You know what I'm saying? You said down below.
That's a whole different podcast.
Listen. My hands hot. My hands are
You're like, it wasn't me. That's what Shaggy said. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but no, for real. I think that oftentimes it's like, what is that thing, and why is that thing bothering me? Man, why am my hand called Winslow? He said 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. What the heck is bothering me? No, but I do think that, yeah, I think it's a valid conversation because being able to kind of get to the heart of a matter is something that I think needs to happen at all times in conversations. You know what I mean? Yes, this is kind of the surface level thing that we're talking about, but here's the thing that is behind it. So here's my question. What happens if in the conversation you are discovering the thing that's behind it and it's almost catastrophic? Like, and you didn't realize like the thing that you was thinking.
Wow.
I think that's too deep for this show.
Come to our channel if you
Right. We're gonna have to do a part 2.
No, just because in conversations, sometimes it's like, yo, I didn't even know that was a thing, and now it's like a thing that we really gotta work through.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think that's the purpose why you talk to whoever it is, whether it's your spouse or your friend or your coworker. That's the reason that you have that conversation with them. Sure, do the work ahead of time, but when you're having the conversation, even if you've resolved it with you, you should still have the conversation so that there can be a greater level of intimacy there to say, hey, this is a trigger for me, or hey, this reminds me of a past experience that I had, and I just need you to know up front that this is what you're encountering.
Yeah, I think that it's important and I think you said this, it's important how you initiate the conversation, because if you say, look, I don't know why I'm still upset about this very small thing that happened, and as you're talking, there is a awakening to why. But I think if you start the conversation that way, then maybe there could be a little grace to say, oh, I didn't know that was the reason why. You know what I'm saying? But if you just come up like guns blazing,
like you did this and
5 months ago, you know what I'm
5.
saying? So I feel like it's important I do agree with you guys. I think that you should never hold on to something that's bothering you. If it's something that you're like, oh, they did this, well, it's not a big deal, I'm gonna let it go. But you can't. Yeah. Maybe you have to do the work to figure out why, and then discuss it with the person and hope that there can be, maybe it's not necessarily that they did something wrong, but it's something within you that is triggered or that is hurt because of a past situation or whatever, and that needs to be talked out.
My question is, what do y'all think makes us hesitant about saying?
Because vulnerability is uncomfortable.
Very.
To say that something that you said or something that you did affected me means that I'm telling you that you have power over me for a great length of time.
Yes. It's something that could be like insignificant.
Yes.
But that thing is triggered because of something that happened in the past, an insecurity, whatever.
And then inviting them into the process of discovering why. That's huge. Absolutely.
But I feel like it's very important. I think this is something that a lot of couples, I mean, I know this is not like just for couples, it's for any kind of relationship, but because Brandon and I deal with couples and marriages and stuff like that, I think that a lot of couples allow time to go on where there's hurt, and then you like dumb down your hurt. And you allow time and there's resentment and bitterness, and then all of a sudden you explode because you're not wise with, let me just talk it out and figure it out, because maybe my spouse wants to help me through this. You know?
And you know why you can't do that? because of the number one thing that a lot of couples have. The shutdown factor. I mean, think about it. Somebody come at you with something from 5 months ago, and it's like, and you kind of, at first, you're kind of like, whoa, what is it? And then, you know what?
Yeah.
Whatever you say.
Yeah.
Got you. Understood.
I
You
want
just
to
shut down. I'm emotionally incoherent.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that it's interesting. I'm not generally on that side of things as the assertive one. You know what I'm
Not
saying?
generally, but I think
I have, and that's why I said, I said generally. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm saying I think everybody has the capability to assess something and kind of just check out and be like, you know what? I can't do this right now.
Yeah.
Whatever you say. And then it's not genuine.
And I've done that often with her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know that you
I know that
it was like, yeah.
You know, people tend to look at me as somebody who likes to fight all the time, but that's not really true. Yeah. There are times I enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? It's fun. But for the
it's fun.
It is fun. But I think for me, I'm not the person. I don't want to fight with people I love. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just not into that. You know what I mean? If I have to, I will. But it's not something I'm like pursuing. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just want to look at one more angle of this conversation. What if because you posed it of like, I've been holding this thing and this person doesn't know. What if you are the spouse or the friend or the sibling who knows this person has something against you that they not saying? They like living life as normal, but you know, like something about
I hate that.
Like what do you do? I think the question is like, what do you do in that situation?
So I'm the kind of person, I don't like confrontation, but I definitely run towards it because I can't live in that limbo. So if I know I was turned up one day and I probably said something that was a little too whatever and I offended Megan or something like that, I can't just live like that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So I have to look, how did you feel when I said that? Like something, like I have to bring it up because especially if I'm doing life with this person, best friends, marriage, work, companionship, whatever the case may be, I can't live in that uncomfortable space because eventually it's going to come out and I don't want to be caught unaware or off guard.
Yeah.
So I'm going to walk towards it. I'm going to be like in front of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm with you. I feel like the first thing that I have to do is say, have I created an environment where that person can't feel comfortable enough to say that I've offended them? So the first thing I'm going to do is ask those questions. Hey, have I made a place here where you can't tell me what you honestly think, honestly feel? But I need to ask that to me before I can go to the other person.
I don't know that I pose this question because I don't think I'm generally this person. I don't even know that I'm always thinking about the fact that I may have offended somebody. You know what I mean? Like
You're not. I'm sorry.
Not the cosigner.
Sorry. I was just agreeing with you.
Like basically, you be offending people all the time. You don't be thinking nothing about it.
No, I just feel like you're the type of person like I said what I said.
Yeah, and I think that like, but here's what's interesting for me. In those moments if I said what I said, that don't be the stuff that offend people. It be stuff that like, how did that offend you? The stuff that people end up bringing.
It's the tone of how you said something that you didn't even mean bad.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. Like now, if I was trying to be a butt, then like you would know that, you would see that, you would understand that.
And most people crazily are not offended by that.
No,
because they know
because
that.
it's just like whatever.
Like,
I know.
that's the obvious.
It's just Jay being Jay. You know what I'm saying?
That's just Jay. Why is he smoking?
I don't know.
That's just Jay being Jay. Like, whose uncle are you talking about? He fixed cars.
Why you got fixed cars? Hold on. But he fixed cars and he ain't got no LLC.
Right.
He just
Just bring it by after work. Everybody that heard that, just bring it by after work. I'll take a look at it.
my Lord.
Jay being Jay.
Yeah, I just think for me, it's put me in some uncomfortable situations because it's made me feel like, well, then who can I be then? If I'm not intentionally trying to offend you and I'm just being who I am and I'm offending you, it just puts me in a world where I'm like, what do I do?
Now you got to defend what you did and
who you are.
Yes. And so it's like, who wants to do that though? You know what I'm saying? So,
but in our scenario, you have to see that sometimes it's not you. It's not that you did something wrong.
That's the thing.
Most times I get offended because of prior experiences.
That's
it's a trigger to something that happened in my past that makes me upset.
Yes, I think that in situations like that, we can't always be quick to carry the weight of that.
Yes.
Because I'm like, if you offended by that had nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I have to put it back on you to say, but why did that offend you?
Yeah.
I don't want you to be offended.
Right.
But why did that offend you? Because of course you know I didn't mean that as an offense. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of people carry that weight and then they feel like, oh, well then I can't be me, you know, because I'm living my life and being whatever, and you offended by me just being me. And a lot of times you're not offensive. You know what I'm saying? It's just them being offended even though I'm not causing an offense.
But I think that's where communication is so important, is because, hey, I have these expectations now. I can communicate to you to say, when you say this or when you do this, it is a trigger for me. So I'm laying out the expectation that you don't do this, or that you be mindful that when you do this, it's going to come off as offensive, whether you mean it or not.
For sure.
Yeah, and I think that for personality types like ours, we didn't really launch into the like they loyal, we assertive type thing. But I think for personality types like ours, I think that there's tension in what you said, right? So if something is not mine to own, and Megan is very good when I'm like talking about certain situations. If somebody has an offense, if they feel offended by me, she's good to be like, yo, this part is you, this part was not you.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right,
Maybe none of this was you. I think for an assertive personality type, it is possible for you to not be wrong and still apologize.
Yes,
That's good.
And what I mean is, like, you're not apologizing for doing something wrong. You're apologizing that you hurt somebody that you didn't mean to hurt.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then from there, I do think that it's a platform by which the person can then say, hey, here's the thing that I was really dealing with. And like you said, yo, where's that coming from? And what is this thing that you bring into the relationship that you feel like I did, but really it's something that's kind of living in you that got triggered. You know what
Absolutely. I feel like, especially if an assertive person comes off that way, it creates the space for a person to flush out why and how they were feeling that way and all that stuff. But if an assertive person come like, you know, whatever, like they're not going to be free to like flush through maybe some of the trauma or some of the things.
Yeah.
And of course, to me, in a relationship, in any kind of relationship, but in a relationship, you should want to be able to be a help to the people that you're around to create better space. And so if something that I did unknowingly unearthed something, then let me help you. I don't want to create even more offense because I'm creating an environment where you feel like you can't share. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What, Brandon? It's your face.
That's because he's like 4 times been like,
No.
What?
You want to have something to say?
No, I was ready to move on.
Wrap it up.
Ready to move on.
All right. So the moral to the story is, if you have something that you need to say to somebody, say it.
say it.
If
Respectfully.
you think you know somebody that has something to say to you, ask them
Facts.
and be done with it.
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
What?
Ask them.
Ask them. AXEM.
Ask them.
Ask them. Okay, moving on. We are going to watch Patti LaBelle as she honors Tina Turner.
This is amazing.
We're going to see what happens.
Okay.
All right, Brandon, can we make sure this is actually working?
Yeah, like...
Can't fault her completely.
Yeah.
She's in her 70s.
So, no, but as somebody who works with lyrics for the stage.
We know that she needs her lyrics.
Right. Which means if she felt confident enough to not get up there and know all the lyrics, then the person behind the scenes should have, like, they don't have sound check anything where she went through stuff.
That's what I was saying.
You work behind the scenes, right?
I do.
I work behind the scenes too.
Yes.
We have that in common.
Right. That means somebody up there wasn't doing their job.
Correct. However,
She knew that she was going to have the lyrics, and she didn't.
how many songs did she have to perform tonight?
She's in her 70s.
You had one job.
It's
No.
It's Tina Turner.
It's
No,
petty.
somebody
No.
needs to be
Here's
fired.
the thing.
She
Somebody
said,
didn't
"And I'm
have her
Patty, and
lyrics.
I'm going to give you these notes and I'm going to
I'm
get off the
sorry.
stage.
You're simply the best. It was a Chevrolet Ford. It was a commercial.
It was a
She
big
knew
song.
It was
her
a big
chorus.
She knew the hook.
How old is the song?
She knew the hook.
I'm sorry.
That was all that was on the commercial.
Listen.
Nope.
So
No, you
I
ain't,
don't blame
you
Patty.
ain't never lied. That is, the verses were not on the
Exactly, and she got the hook.
The verses were not on the commercial.
No,
That's-
somebody didn't do their
hilarious.
job.
But
I
I'm
don't
just-
blame Patty.
I
Somebody
don't
didn't do their job.
disagree. I just feel like, why would, come on, you would leave your whole performance in the hands of another person?
Now that is the thing.
At
As
70,
on,
yes.
as a concert
One
professional, that part is like a thing. So
I'm not gonna leave it up to you.
Here's a little bit of
You ain't embarrassing me on the World Wide Web, son.
not the World Wide Web.
Come on.
No, she
Not on
put her
Beyonce's
trust
internet.
in somebody and they let her
Al
down.
Gore's in the net.
Yeah,
He never
it
let
was
you forget
his.
that.
It now belongs to Beyonce.
It does.
Nah, so the backstory here is the teleprompter was on the floor and not on like a rafter.
Where she could see it high.
So
But did
when
she
people,
know that before
so
when she came for sound check?
Probably. So when people stood up, she could not see it.
So where's her manager at telling her this? I'm sorry, I can't
I
blame
don't
her.
disagree.
I can't blame her.
I don't think that
don't.
she would have. I don't think that she would have gone through sound check and all the things, knowing the negatives and not fixed it. Knowing her, she would have fixed it.
My thing is, it's a team effort. Okay.
But Patty also was
Team
like
effort.
in that other performance, where my background singers?
This is not new. That she's not been prepared. So here's the
Nice
thing.
dress.
It wasn't just
Nice dress.
It wasn't just.
That was Aretha, thank you, white lady.
Oh, it was
It, was,
my bad.
it wasn't just the fact that, she she couldn't see the teleprompter. It's also the fact that we are used to this whole like, it's not just this one song. It's like I think after she hit a certain time, she's like,
Yeah.
I'm checked out
Yeah.
completely of everything.
She didn't
Y'all
walk
do
out.
it, and I'll show up. And it's like, but you still perform. Like Smokey Robinson not doing that. He older than her.
Yeah.
And I love Patty.
But
I love Patty.
everybody got different struggles in their 70s. I'm just saying.
They
If
do.
she needed
I
a
hope
little
I make it to
help,
my 70s.
if she needed her little help,
So
I'm just saying.
here's what I will say.
It's one song.
She sounded good though.
She sounded amazing.
she came
though.
with the notes.
Listen,
Okay.
I forgot she forgot the lyrics when she hit that chorus. I'm like,
Yeah. Sounded good though.
forgot.
Now the
Looks
verse is
good,
Patty,
too.
simply a mess. That's what that was.
Versus Patty.
Look, she came. She looked good.
She did.
She sounded good.
She looked amazing.
It's unfortunate.
She owned the moment. She told him, wish I could see the lyrics.
Listen,
Yeah.
I tried, y'all.
I did.
Whoever
Here we
was
are.
standing in front of the prompter, I'm like, excuse me, person in the red.
Nah,
Can you
I'm
move
surprised
to
she
the
didn't
left?
do that. 'cause y'all-
But you
Whoa.
saw her in the beginning. She looked back like she was telling them there's something wrong. So who back there didn't go and fix it?
That's true too.
I'm
just
sorry.
saying.
There
I'm
have
just
been
saying.
times where I'm on the lyrics and you're like, Megan, I don't know this song, so I need to be on them.
I'm just saying.
Just
But what
saying.
I'm not gonna do is get on stage and have you listened to the song today?
Stop
Did you listen to the
it.
song today?
Brandon,
She
you
saw the
act
Did you hear it
commercial.
today?
She saw the
Brandon.
Did you
commercial.
listen to it today?
And act
Did
like
you just Amazon Music today? Did you pull it up and just listen
You
to
act
it
like
once
everybody
today?
has perfect
It's on
memory.
YouTube. It's not
No.
about perfect memory. It's about at least getting into your system. It's one performance. When you on stage, I ain't finna let nobody make me no fool.
It doesn't matter. There's times where I practice all week long, but it's the adrenaline
But you
and
just
all
said it.
that.
You practiced all week long.
We don't know that she didn't.
We know that.
No, we don't know.
We don't know.
She is in
Come on, yo.
She might not have taken her
I'm sorry.
ginkgo biloba. What is
I'm
it called?
sorry.
wow.
Y'all just saw that. She
Brandon.
didn't miss a line. She
Brandon.
missed a whole.
Brandon.
Y'all really think she
No.
she rehearsed all week?
Brandon.
All week?
She rehearsed.
Okay, I need you to stop and bring it down.
Stop sipping your tea.
And here's the thing.
It's water.
You don't know that a 70-year-old
So
person.
let's ask, how old is she?
Let's find out.
I'm gonna look. Go ahead. You keep talking, Sheree.
Alexa,
don't-
how old is Patti LaBelle?
Wait, are you gonna answer?
Alexa didn't listen to you.
You don't know how with
You said
her
Patty?
age.
79.
79.
Please, SOTP.
She
I mean
not-
STOP.
Wait, SOTP?
STOP, Brandon. You cannot say
70.
that she was like, look, I have a memory problem. Like, she could say it. Like, everybody is
you
not.
know what?
No.
Wait, wow, that's an assertive coming out.
Yes. Stop it.
No.
You can't
I don't
say
blame
she
Patty.
could have rehearsed. She could have rehearsed and could have rehearsed. No one is perfect. So she could say, look, I have a deficit. I need, when the adrenaline's going, the lights is going, the people are there, I'm going to lose my space. I need the lyrics. You don't know.
I am not blaming any one party.
So you can't say that she
I'm
didn't know.
saying
You can't say
it's
that
a
she didn't rehearse.
collective- I didn't say she didn't rehearse. I just
You
said
I'm sorry.
You said she didn't rehearse. You said it.
Hers.
Okay.
Please
Rehearse.
rewind.
That's fine.
Rehearse.
Nope, that's fine. I'll say it.
It is a
I don't
collaborative.
believe. I don't believe.
You don't know. You don't know.
But she was on all of her cues.
That's what I'm trying
So
to say.
how are you on all of your cues if you didn't rehearse?
She knows all the.
She knew the
points,
song.
She just didn't know a little
She
bit
just
of the
needed help with the lyrics.
And a 79-year-old should have access to lyrics.
When she turned around and looked, and that look said, "I need help," they should have gone out there and helped.
Here's the reality.
help the 79-year-old.
Here's the reality.
Tell us.
She still got a check.
She did.
So at the end of the day.
But she's being
And she
drugged
did
on the internet.
amazing. She
She's
did an
being
amazing
drugged.
job.
But she don't care.
She don't.
I was gonna say, I really don't think she cares. I really don't think she cares.
She
did what
said she was
supposed
up there with her smile face, doing her thing, looking great.
Face beat.
to. What was the
Listen.
song?
Good wig.
Jay, what was the
Hey.
song, the Christmas song she didn't remember?
I don't know.
You remember what I'm talking about? I know
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about. It's like, where's my background singers?
It's right here. I'm not putting it on.
She knows she need background singers, but she don't know the lyrics.
I can't do it.
I'm just teasing.
She wanted
I'm
things to be
just teasing.
perfect.
Nevertheless, Patty, you sung the song.
You did your thing,
And we all
honey.
love you. Oh my gosh.
You
I
had
love
your
Patty
pumps
LaBelle.
on. You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
She did. She
Legs
dressed
glistening.
She did not look 79.
No.
Listen.
She looked
You
amazing.
know it's a shock when somebody's 79 when you look it up and you go that
Yeah.
whole
Right.
thing like
Yeah.
I didn't think
And don't we all aspire to that?
Can
If I could look
please?
like that at 49,
If I can sound like that at 42.
Listen.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Agreed.
Patty, you did your thing.
Yes.
It was comical.
Yes.
We laughed, we debated.
Still relevant.
But I'm gonna get here's
And
the
we
thing.
love you.
Here's the thing, and we talking about you. So
Right.
that's that.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
You winning.
All right, so
I don't even
all
say
right.
often.
More often?
Nevertheless, guys, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you
Yes.
enjoyed it. We had serious, we had reaction, we had fun.
Yes.
Until next time, thank
Come
you all
back
for
for
joining
more.
us.
Yes.
Peace out.
Yeah.